In today's video, we're going to see how to simplify and customize the Joomla registration form using convert forms. Hey there, Joomla fans. Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too. Thanks for tuning in to Watch Me Work live stream number 296 here on the Basic Joomla channel, where I show you my favorite extensions, tools, and tips for building and maintaining Joomla sites. I also work on Joomla sites, build them, maintain them, migrate them, all the stuff. If you're looking to hire someone short-term or long-term or just to get you out of a spot, send me an email, tim@cybersalt.com, and let's talk. Okay, hello everyone. Hey, a little bump today. Remember last week I had some problems with selecting sections of my screen. I fixed those, or so I thought, but there's some update to my video card, and long story short, I could not start the stream. But typed in the error in Gemini, and the AI gave me instructions on what to do. And now actually the setup is better than ever for me to see what's going on. So super excited about that. Okay, so hello. Oh yeah, let me just explain the picture here. And then I will tell you. So when we were in Washington, D.C. weeks ago at the Lincoln Memorial, I knew that somewhere Martin Luther King Jr. had stood and given his I Have a Dream speech. So I specifically looked, and it's very, very out of the place, but it's right where he was standing when he gave that speech, looking out across the mall in Washington. And there was a plaque there. Actually, it's ground right in the granite where he was standing. So that is very cool. So I got a picture of my feet standing right where he was standing and looking out. So that was something I knew to watch out for, and I was really glad that I remembered, because I got that picture and was there. So yes. All right. Show and tell is over. Let's turn our attention to the screen like that. Excuse me. So hello to everyone in chat. It's good to see you. Edza is here. Ivor is here. Bjorn is here. Valerie's here. And Georgie Bulia. Hello. Good to have you all here. We're going to look at this topic, and then probably maybe later on maybe we'll have a little topic about news in Joomla. I know the big news is that Rocket theme has announced that they're closing, so we might comment about that later on, have a little discussion. You saw my Maintenance Monday video about that. But I really want to hop into this topic here because I have one of my clients who has been struggling with registration spam on his site. And I think a great way to keep bots from creating spam accounts on your Joomla site, you can just turn off registration if you don't want people to register. That kills it right there. But if you are allowing people to register, then you maybe are plagued by bots that are creating accounts. And so I think that convert forms is a great way to do that. Tassos, in fact, let me just copy and paste the URL there. Tassos has this tutorial and directions on how to do this on your Joomla site. So I wanted to go through these steps so that other people that I refer to and other of my clients that want to take advantage of this will be able to. Okay, we're in the back end of right here, a Joomla 5.3 site. You'll see 5.3.1 came out yesterday. I've not updated any sites to it yet, but we can see that I think that this is just going to work fine. I'm going to try to do this using the free convert forms, and we will see how it goes. So we're going to go system, install extensions, install from webs. We're going to go convert. I think convert will bring it right up. Convert forms, there it is right here. And we will install it. Great. I think we have to go down the bottom here. Oh, did I misclick? Convert forms. Let's click here. Oh, okay. Don't click on the title. Click on the actual body of it and go install and install. And there you go. Now, One other thing I want to check here on this side, I want to make sure that registration is enabled for creating new accounts here, because we will probably need to disable it at some point. And actually, it is not enabled, as we can see here. So let's just quickly go to users, manage, articles, users, options, and allow user registration. So we're going to turn that on for yes for now. By the way, I preached 2 Sundays ago. My pastor was sick, so he asked me to fill in for him at church. So I preached for him. And when I listened to the recording, I noticed that I say a lot. And that is a bad habit that I've gotten into. So I thought I would get lots of good practice stopping that, doing my live streams and my videos. So if I get saying it too much, I don't want you to type in chat every time I say but if I start to slip out of working on that, please just let me know. If you want to count, let's say if the next time on the 20th, tell me, for those of you that want to count, but excuse me. Okay, now when we go to the front of the site here, we see we have the option to create an account, which is great. And now we're all set to follow the steps. So I'm just going to read through this. It's a great resource. Maybe you like to read instead of follow along on videos. So you have it, and you probably stop the video at this time. But before you do that, please give the video a like, whether you're watching live or whether you are watching in a replay. And also subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel, because that makes my heart feel warm when people subscribe. And you want my heart to feel warm, don't you? Okay. Joomla's registration form works fine for basic needs, but when you require more flexibility, a custom registration form becomes essential. Joomla lacks key features that many websites need, especially when managing memberships or user roles. Yes, and using convert forms for allowing people to create accounts will also allow you to use a lot of the other tools in convert forms, whereby you can add them to an ACOI mailing list, or you can assign them to a group, or you can do custom things that you want. So that is good. It even has it so you can the users can be added to off-site services such as MailChimp or things like that. We might have to go to the pro form, to the pro version, to use that, but we will see. The missing features in the Joomla sign-up form can make signing up more complicated than necessary. To simplify the registration form and reduce friction, you can remove unnecessary fields. Use email as a username, auto-generate passwords, and apply conditional logic to show or hide fields based on your user input. Don't count that one. I help users daily through support tickets, setting up forms that look very good and work exactly as they need to. So here's the guide how to do that. All right, going beyond the standard Joomla registration form. Why? Don't count that. While Joomla offers a basic user registration form out of the box, it lacks flexibility in several key areas. We just read that. Here are some of the most common shortcomings. Email confirmation field. Joomla includes a confirmation field for the password, but not for the email address. If a user mistypes their email, they'll never receive the activation link, and there's no built-in way to prevent this. Email as username. Joomla separates the username and email address by default. For many use cases, this is unnecessary. Using the email address as the username simplifies the form and reduces friction for users. Automatic password generation. Joomla requires the user to create their password with no option to generate one automatically and email it to them. Split full name. Joomla only offers a single name field. While some prefer the simplicity, splitting names helps with personalization. Since it's not perfect, many names aren't just 2 words, which can lead to awkward results. Dynamic user group assignment. The core form doesn't support assigning users to different user groups based on their selections during registration. Limited display options. The default registration form can only be shown through the registration form menu item. What if you want to display it inside a sidebar module, below an article, or inside a pop-up? Lack of conditional logic. The core form doesn't allow showing or hiding fields based on user input. For example, showing a company name field only when the user selects business showing a company name field only when the user selects business as the account type isn't possible without custom coding. So why use convert forms? Because you can do all those things. Okay. And that's what we're going to see. So let's go through our steps here. The user account add-on is a pro feature. Oh, we better look at that. At the core of this tutorial is the user account add-on, the key feature that makes it all work. So this is something in the pro of convert forms. Okay. So we will install the pro version right here, right now, and then you can see whether you want this for your site. For those of you who are my clients on my monthly management package, the pro version of convert forms is included in that. If you want to know more about my monthly management package, then shoot me an email, tim@cybersalt.com. All right, so let's put in the pro version right here. I'm actually going to put in a beta version of the pro version of convert forms because I just reported something to Tassos. A bunch of pictures here. No, I don't want that. That he fixed. Okay, so I'm going to be looking for convert forms. Yes. What is there's? Just have to find this here. Convert forms. This one right here. Release candidate 7 Pro. That's what we want. Don't think I have to put in my password for this for the pro to kick in. My download ID, that is. All right, we have that in there. We're going to go to convert forms and we'll go to the dashboard and we'll keep following along. Build the form. To start, navigate the components, convert forms, click new, and start from scratch. All right, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go new, start from scratch. We've got email address, full name, and submit. And we see that there. To complete the registration form, you must add 2 more fields, one for the username and one for the password. To do this, open the fields and panel and click add field. For the username, choose the text box field and click to add it. All right, so we're going to go add fields, text box, we click, it's there. Yes, and now once the field has been added, update its label and name options to username. And yes, capitalize that. So we're going to go username here. And that in the field label as well. And we see that change in real time right on the site. Man, this new setup for me here really lets me see what's streaming much better. Okay. Did that. Does it show as a required field? Yeah, it shows as a required field. Whoops. Okay. Next, return to the add field tab. Locate the password field. Type in the list and click to add it to the form. I've never used this field, so that's good. We're going to go down to password. And I guess he's going to say change it to password, the label. So let's do that. I cannot tell you how much I like convert forms. All right, let me just adjust this camera a little bit here. Oh, too much. Too much. Don't look if motion makes you queasy. Okay, so. Okay, enable user account creation. Now you'll see here that these forms are right here, kind of not in a great order, I don't think. I think we want the submit at the bottom, and maybe I missed the part where you read where you move these. But if we go to add, we go to all fields, I can now drag the submit down. And where does he have, let me just close this so that I can not be clicking the wrong tab all the time. He has email address, full name, username. Email address, full name, username, password. password, and submit. Okay, so we've changed that order. So our form isn't fully functional yet. If you test it now, it'll only store submission data in the database. It won't create Joomla user accounts. Let's fix that by turning it into custom Joomla registration form. To get started, go to Tasks in the left sidebar and create your first task. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, we looked at tasks on convert forms because they are something new, something older is being deprecated. So we want to create, so Tastos has it so that you can create tasks so that when this form is submitted, things get done. Valerie says my playback volume is a bit low. Let me just drag my microphone there. That's probably going to be a bit better. And it may be too much. I can always adjust it, but hopefully that will help. All right, so I'm going to create a task. Down the left-hand side here, the stream is lagging. Interesting. I don't think I can do anything about that right now. I'm using all the same settings, but who knows, maybe something changed. Okay, or it might also just be a local thing for you, Bjorn. But okay, click on the plug here, and there we go. Create a task, and the first task we're going to create is user account. Okay. Imagine how much better my channel would be if I always followed directions like this. New submission, create Joomla user account, just click continue to proceed. So we click continue, and now we have a bunch of options. Map form fields to user account data. You'll now need to match each form field to the corresponding Joomla user field. For email address, select email, full name, username option. Select the username field you added earlier, and for password, pick the password field from the form. All right, email address. Okay, email address is going to be, let me just make sure I'm doing this right, Joomla. Better look here. Email address, full name, username. Okay, email address, full name, username, password. Okay. Under user groups, choose which group the user should be assigned to. By default, this is registered. You can select multiple user groups if needed. It's also possible to assign a user group dynamically based on user input by mapping it to a form field. We'll cover this in more detail later. Okay, so user group, we're going to make them registered. And I don't think we put anything in value. Next, choose how the new user account should be activated under activation method. You can either require the user to confirm their account by a link or have the administrator manually approve it. Or you can leave it to set global, which follows the activation method configured in Joomla's user component, or override it with a specific option. So in this case, he has global self, where the options are global, use global. We'll use the option set in user configuration page. None. Okay. Will be accounted. The user account will be activated immediately. We can read all those. So, but we're going to go use the global. Oh, the global. Right now, the global setting for this site is administrator. Someone signs up, you have to approve them. I'll just go with global for the site. We'll just stick with what is outlined here. Finally, enable the task by clicking the toggle. Aha, don't miss this. Let's go up to the top left there, little toggle up here. And we enable that and click save, which is at the bottom. Save. Excellent. Test submission and verify account creation. Now it's time to test your form. First, publish your form on your site and then submit the form as a test user. Okay, so let's publish this on the site. And to do that, we will just go submit. And then we're going to, I'm going to duplicate this tab here so that I can close this instance of it. And let's just go to menu and main menu. And we will go new. And we will go sign up. Or we'll just go create account. And just so that we can see this, I'm going to put CF for convert forms. The menu type, we're going to go and select convert forms. We're going to select the form, and the form that we're selecting here under options, it's the only one that we have, untitled form. If you want to change the title, just type it up here. I'll leave it untitled for now. We'll go save, preview this page. We will go down to our main menu on the side here, create account CF. There's our form. So I'm going to go cf@cybersalt.com, Tim CF, and the password, I'm going to go to Bitwarden, generate a password, put that in there, Control V, and go submit. Thanks for contacting us. We'll get in touch with you shortly. Okay. Now, not necessarily the message that you would want, but that's okay. We're working through the process here. Okay. After submitting, go to the back end to confirm the user account was successfully created. Good idea. Go close. Users. Manage. And there it is. Hey, look at Ivor signed up. Wow, Ivor's so fast. He beat me by, oh no, I beat him by 1 second. We go, and yes, it was created. Excellent. That's it. In just a few minutes, we create a custom Joomla registration form using convert forms. Now, let's explore how we can enhance and customize this form further in the sections. Now, one thing I want to watch for later is this. Just because we have that form does not mean that you still can't create an account using the Joomla system. And so that would still leave you vulnerable to bots. Now, Tassos is not presenting this form as a system to defeat the bots. He's presenting it as a system to, in the context of having a form with lots of other functions that Joomla doesn't have. At some point along the way here, I'm going to turn off user registration, and then we're going to see how things work with that turned off. All right, because I don't want the bots to still have access. Even if I remove the ability to create an account, the link to it, or areas where you can create it, they could still use it. So I want to take that option away from bots. But let's just stick through with the topic here. Okay. Disable the form module. Yes, disable. That's what I was trying to say, Bjorn. If I disable that module, the registration links will still work. The account creation links will still work. They just won't be able to find them, but the bots will know them and try them, or they maybe remember them already, and that's why you're switching. So let's explore how we can enhance and customize this form further in the next sections. Remove username field, use email as username. Joomla's default form requires users to create a separate username during registration, on top of providing their email address. This adds friction to the form and often leads to confusion. Many users forget what username they used or end up reusing their email as the username anyways. If your site doesn't rely on a separate username, there's no reason to ask for one. You can keep things simple by removing the username field from the registration form and using the email address as username. Okay. This method is not recommended if your site displays usernames publicly. Oh, okay. Yeah, because if you're displaying a username publicly, you'll be displaying their email address. So keep that in mind. To use the email address as username, return to the form editor, go to tasks, and click to edit the user account task. Go back to tasks, click to edit the user account task. Okay. Under the username option, change the mapping from username field, which you just removed, to the email address field. So email, instead of email address, we're just going to switch that to, username. Instead of username, we're going to switch that to email address. Bjorn says, not if you create a menu link to a page and hide the link. I agree with you, Bjorn, doing it from scratch. However, if the link is known for using the Joomla registration, if it's already known by bots or is being shared or remembered, then that is, the registration form will still work, I think. Well, we'll play around with this at the end too. All right, so we've changed that to email address. Next, open the All Fields panel and remove the username field. So we need to go Save, Fields, All Fields, Username. Remove that. Okay. Feels counterintuitive. We'll save that. Let's take a step further and eliminate other points of friction. Why don't we just try that form now? Email address. Tim CF2. Whoops. At cybersalt.com. Tim. I'm just going to use this. Let's use that same password. Yeah, good. And now I'm going to go into the back end of the site and refresh. There we have Tim, and the username is an email address and the person's email address. I like that. Okay. Now, every new account created through this form will use email address. Let's take it a step further and eliminate other points of friction. As you understand, Joomla's default registration form lacks flexibility. You're forced to use fields you might not even need, like full name and confirm password. These fields are hard-coded and cannot be removed through the user component configuration. But what if you simply don't care about collecting someone's real name? Why make it a required step? With convert forms, you have full control over what fields appear in your form. Don't want to ask for the full name? Just remove the field from the form. Since Joomla requires the name property when creating user, you can easily map the full name field to the user account task to another field, like the username, which is already required. The same goes to the confirm password field. If you don't want to include it and prefer to keep the form shorter, just leave it out. Convert Forms doesn't force you to add a confirmation field unless you choose to. All right, so as what he is saying here is if we go to create form, create an account, here's name, username, password, confirm password. So I like people to confirm their passwords. I like them to confirm their email address. I think he's going to get to that. But if you don't want this, then you don't need to have it. So it's a way to remove it is what he's saying, or avoid it. Another way to reduce friction during registration is to skip the password field altogether and let Convert Forms create one for the user automatically. This is useful when the user doesn't need to log in immediately, or when you're trying to keep the form as short and simple as possible. Think lead capture event registrations. Here's how to enable auto-generated passwords. Go to the form editor, open Tasks panel, and click to edit the user account task. Under the password option, choose Generate Random Password. So we're back to the task. Back to here. Under the password, I'm going to select Generate Random Password. Cool. And does he tell us to save? Okay, so here's a good point. If you're auto-generating passwords, Joomla must send that password to the user. So make sure the send password option is enabled in the user component settings. Without it, users won't receive their passwords and they won't be able to log in. Okay, so we've got generate random password, save there. We'll save the form up here. And now I'm going to go into users. And I'm going to go to options and password options. No, here's where you set what the requirements for the passwords are. Let's see here. Allow. Oh, send password. Okay. Sometimes I've turned send password off because that is letting people that avoids their password being sent that can be read in an email. That's can be a security thing. But I guess it all depends on the type of site you have, the content, or whatever reasons that you have for people actually creating accounts. But we'll make sure that the password gets sent here. You need to click that to send. Okay. And now we can just go here and it shows a password for us to submit. I think that we missed the part where we just and remove the password field. Yes, that makes sense. We're going to go here to all fields. We're going to remove the password and we're going to go save. Okay. Now we can go here, refresh. That's cybersoft.com. Tim will submit. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, make the user change password the first time he logs in. Yeah, you could do that. You could set that flag so they have to change their password. And especially if the password, you're choosing it and sending it to them, you can give them a link where they have to pick their own password. That's a very good point, Ivor. I like that. And to do that, I think we might get ourselves ahead here. Go to the task. And, here you would check password reset. Require password reset. Require users to reset their password on first login. This is useful in cases when the password is auto-generated. Good for you, Ivor. So yes, they would use the password and then they would have to add their own. So hopefully their email does not get intercepted before they actually see it. Okay. Next, close the task dialog. Great. And that's gone. Now, where did we don't have confirm email on here, do we? That has just suddenly appeared. When did he add confirm email? Did I miss that? Because all of a sudden it says confirm email. I wonder if that's a mistake. Because we missed that step. Let me just read here and quickly see. Yeah, we've gone from this to others. I think he's using the wrong screenshot. So let's just not pay attention to that. Auto-generate passwords. Great. Additionally, since the user's password is auto-generated. Oh, and there we go. Ivor was reading ahead for me. Required password reset. Yeah, Bjorn says duplicate the email field and add as a condition. Yeah, let's remember to do that. I'll just keep working through this list. I think he's used a screenshot from elsewhere from later on. Okay, so convert forms automatically generate a strong password for each user account. Good. Now, by default, Joomla assigns new users to a fixed predefined group as configured in the user component settings. But what if you need more flexibility, like assigning users to different groups based on their form selections? With convert forms, you can assign a user to one or more field groups and also dynamically assign them to a group based on a form field value or logic. Suppose you've got the following custom user groups: silver, bronze, gold. And there they are. You want to create a new user and assign it to the selected user group in conjunction with the registered group. Let's see how you can do that. Go back to the form editor, open the add field, and then add a drop down to the form. Let me create these: the bronze, gold, silver, and these are new user groups. Let's just do this first. Components, groups, new user group, bronze, silver, gold. Bronze, and I put them underneath. I put them underneath public. I probably should have put them under registered. You don't need them under public. So watch. I'm going to. I could fix that later. We'll just have them there. All right. So add a field. Add a drop down. Okay. Let's close this here. Close up at the top. Okay. Fields. Add a field. We're going to add a drop down. And field label, select group. Oh, field, okay. Field name, user group, field label, select group. Field name, user group, field label, select group. Okay. Next, you're going to go silver, 10, 11, and 12. Silver, bronze, gold. Interesting, we got silver first, but we'll just do it just to keep in touch here. Silver, bronze, gold. And I believe we put the value in by hitting plus. No. By hitting the drop down. Oh, let's just see here. Oh, click show values. Oh, here we go. Little box there. And I think for his example, he's got 10, 11, 12. So if someone selects silver in the drop down, it represents a value of 10 and then 12. Okay. Modify our task. Go to the tasks. Okay, so I think that we're going to have to save that. Okay, first, all right, so let's save this here. Okay. We've saved that. We've got that down at the bottom. Let's just move this up for select. Well, you think that's the ID of the group? Oh, could be. Could be. I think it's you might be using that. Yeah, well, we'll see. Good point. In the user groups, go to tasks, user account task, and the select registered. Tasks, new user account, user groups registered. Yes. Okay. Right below, select the user group drop-down field to assign the user to an additional group based on their selection. Select group 6. Okay. We're going to go here. Okay, so it's not the user group we want here. We want to go down to the fields. These are the fields that we've created. So we made email address, full name. Here's the select group that we just made. And just so that I can clarify, let's go back to fields and see we named it the field label select group. That's why we see it, right? So that's an instruction to select. So we're back here to tasks, select group. That's what we made, which is number 5 in what we created. Okay. Okay, this setup ensures all new users are added to the registered group and the group they selected in the form during form submission. And here's a little video that shows what they're doing. What the form should look like. Oh, he's put the form at the top. Okay. So let us do that as well. Save. Let's go to the orders here. All fields. And we'll put select at the top. Great. Save. After submitting form, verify it. So we'll go to the page here. Let's add to gold, bronze. In bronze, submit. Users manage. There's Tim Bronze. And look, Tim Bronze is in the registered group and in the silver group. So that worked very nicely. Your 3 groups are not under registered. Doesn't it need to be? I mean, technically for the groups, the groups will have whatever permissions that there are here. And so, yes, having them under public doesn't really matter because it's just going to inherit the things from public. Although you could give them different permissions by clicking here. So they're inheriting nothing, right? Silver is not bronze. Yes, the order is out, but I'm just sticking with there. So Valerie, what we could do is we could easily just make this a child of register, or we could make it a child of author. So these groups would give everyone the permissions of author. They would inherit that, and then you could customize them. So you can make them. The group can be the child of any, or you can give it of any of these, and it will adopt what's above it, and you can customize what's below it. But definitely, you're not going to give people different access as public people. Make them register so they can only see public. So you're right. So let's just put it under registered. And so that's gold, and let's put that under registered. And bronze, silver. Let's put that under registered. Yes. To follow what Tassos is doing. That's right. So it's good to keep that in step. I agree. Okay, conditionally create user accounts optional registration. Sometimes you don't want to create a user account for every form submission. You may want to give users the option to register, but not force them to. Excuse me. Oh, the silver registered as user as silver, but you chose bronze. Oh, interesting. I see what you're saying now. So select group 10, 11, 12. What does he have here for the values? I probably messed that up then. You're right. Silver is 10, bronze 11, gold 12. Gold 12. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so you were right. The I registered as bronze. It got added to silver. So you were right about the ID. I think maybe did I misread that then? Oh, enter the correct user group's IDs. Thank you, Bjorn. Bjorn to the rescue. So let's get that straight, folks. Silver here is 11, bronze is 10. It's the order that they were created. And gold is 12. So it's 10, 11, 12. 10, 11. All right, everybody, that's good to know. Put in the IDs in the ID column of the user groups. And if you change which they are a sub of, as I did, that doesn't matter because that stays the same, the user there. The ID of the group stays the same. So then what we can then do is you can also move the order of these. I'll leave them as Tassos has them. Thank you. Thanks for keeping me on track, you guys. I need that. I was working using ChatGPT the other day to convert a open source commenting system the website has. It's not in Joomla. We want to save all the comments, but it would only run in PHP 7.4. So actually use ChatGPT to just work through errors and get that program working in PHP 8.4. The reason 8.3. The reason that I mentioned that was that I was doing it, and then one of my team members, Ganur, was watching me do it, and we were working on it together. He's making suggestions, I was asking questions, we were doing things, and he did what you guys are doing, caught me making some mistakes. So that's good. All right, so now let's go back down here to create. Okay. Okay, we've been there. I just have to catch up to where we were. Sometimes you don't want to create a user account for every form submission. You may want to give users the option to register, but not to force them. This is useful in cases like a newsletter sign up, a contact form, checkout, or event registration form where users can choose whether they want to store their info next time. With convert forms, you can conditionally create user accounts based on their input using the built-in conditional logic. Here's how to do so. In the form editor, go to Add Field tab and click to add a Terms of Service field to the form. This type of field adds a single checkbox to the form to ask the user for their consent. Terms of Service. Here we go, Terms of Service. I agree to the Terms of Service. Okay, we've added it. After adding the field to the form, set its label to Create Account. And then we're going to change, I agree. Okay, label to Create Account. That's the label. And we're going to put put down there, I agree to create, oh, we changed the terms of service. I agreed to create an account with my data. Okay. Notice that terms of service _6. So that's the number being added. It's the sixth field that we have in this form. But the field is create account. Okay. Click to edit the user account task once again. And scroll down to the conditional logic section and enable it. All right, let's save this field here. Let's also move this consent above. I don't know where he puts it, but I'm going to just put it above there. Makes sense. Create account. I agree. Okay. So we save that. Now we go to the task and down, I think, click to edit the user account. Scroll down to conditional logic section and enable it. Down at the bottom here, conditional logic, enable it. And we're going to add a condition. After enabling it, add your first condition. And we're going to say create account 7, ours is 6, is not empty. When this task, run this task when conditions are below are met. Create account is not empty. When create account, oh, we ended up with 6 there as well. Yeah, 6, okay. Is not empty. Run this task when is not empty. Okay. So this task of a email being submitted, this task, new user account, only run this if the person consents to an account being created. Great. Excellent. All right, so we go save. And I think our form, I just want to look at this form here. It is not set to required. So I wonder, there must be some way to require this, but you don't want this required. Otherwise, they couldn't submit it without agreeing. So there must be another field for that. But now we get to add an email address confirm field. And Bjorn's already spilled the beans on this one, what we're going to be doing. We're going to be creating a field and we're going to add that, make it equal to something. There is a field called confirmation. So let's see, add form, add field, and we're going to name it confirm field. Set the label to confirm field. So all fields, add field, confirmation. Let's just move it up to email address there. Okay. Confirmation. And we're going to go confirm email. I think that's what you want us to do there, right? Confirm email. Yes. Next, set the match field option to email. This is the name of the email address field in our form. So down here, match the field email. Interesting. And that's going to be the email of our. It's interesting that you can't select this. So match field email. Match field email. But I think that, okay, so let me just read this again. After adding the field, set its label and name options to confirm email. Next, set the match field option to email. This is the name of the email address field in our form. Okay. So I think the name of the email address in our form, I think it's this. Oh, yeah, we did name it. All right, it's named email. So you have to match it to what you named the field. All right. Good. I just want to make sure. Confirmation email. We said email. Yeah. And that will work. So we're going to go save. Go refresh. And so let's do a test here. So we're going to add to bronze this time. Bronze2 at cybersalt.com. Now I'm just going to go BRONZE at cybersalt.com. And we'll use that. Now, these do not match, so I go submit. Oh, see, check this box if you want to proceed. Okay. Interesting. That should, create account is required there. All right, I'm just going to say yes to create an account at this point. Go submit, and it's going to say, the fields don't match. So I go to, I submit, go back to users. Manage users. There's, look at, there's bronze2 at cybersalt.com. Add it to the bronze. None of these are enabled because this particular site says that the email, the administrator gets emailed. So those are probably just coming in, flying into my inbox. But it did get added to bronze down here. Nice. Let's just revisit all fields, create account. Because this should, I think what he was saying was that if you want to give them the option to submit something to create an account, they have to agree. But if they didn't want to, I guess if they didn't want to, they don't check. And what we're doing here is actually for creating an account. So I guess I was just thinking somewhere that if you, people were submitting a form and then gave them the option to create an account, you would have to give them that choice to do so. You could give them a toggle though, I guess, create an account, don't create an account without doing this confirmation here. So display the registration form via module. Major limitation, of course, registration form can only be published by menu type. So let's see how he does this here. With convert forms, you are not restricted to menu items. You can place the registration form anywhere using convert forms XX shortcode, or even better, publish it via module. So let's take a look at a few ways to do that. Whoops, scheduled form. Okay, so he's creating a module here. So let's do that. System. Site modules. It's already one existing, but if there wasn't one existing, you could just go new, type in here convert forms. Hit that. Here's our untitled form. We can call this create an account. And okay, I need to just turn my phone down here because things are beeping and coming in here. Yeah, take that off there. Okay. All right, so we're going to publish this to sidebar right, save, and we'll refresh. It's probably down at the bottom here. There, create an account. And here is our menu. So that works well. But also, as he was pointing out, if we go to the home page, let's go to this Joomla article called Love. Read more, Love. Let's go to Love. All right. We're going to go and to the back end of our site here. I'm going to close this. You'll see here, here's our untitled form. And over here, there is a link. If you click that, you get a short code that gets copied to your clipboard. Convert Forms 1, which is the ID of the form here. Now we can go to Content, go close, Articles, Love. We'll go to that article, Love, and we can, at the bottom here, or anywhere really, here, let's put it after this title here. We can paste that tag. We'll leave it even as bold. We'll go save, refresh, and there's our form. In fact, let's just see. I don't think this is going to center it, but we will see. If we center that form there, no, it didn't. You have to use CSS to center that. But that's the way you can put a form in anywhere, in any place where you can put that tag. Excuse me, and the form will show up. All right. And then by using the module, wow. Let's get a little fancy here. He points out that by using the module, I'm going to sort by ID on the right-hand side here. Okay. By using a module, you can, what's he say here? Using the module method allows the door to powerful targeting options when combined with smile packs. Oh, display conditions. Okay. He has another package called Smile Pack, and you can use it to target the form, target by location, check for specific cookies, respond to URL query parameters. So you could have the form show up if there's a certain location that you want people that are in North America to see this sign up form, then it will show up. You might create a different sign up form for someone in Europe. You can have it do a bunch of fancy things. So he has Smile Pack in there. There are also other extensions that you can use. If you're using Advanced Module Manager, that's a powerful way to control whether a module appears or not. And in fact, let's just see. I want to see one thing here. If we go to, if we go to close, we go to custom. Let's go new custom menu here. And then we'll get playing around with the anti-bot stuff that I was talking about. I thought that there were options to control when things were published or not. Status, start publishing, finishing publishing. Yeah, you know, if you only want this form to show certain things, you could actually we could go back to our article on love, and instead of putting in the code, we could do this. In this space, we could go down. This is using TinyMCE module, and then we can sort by ID. There's the convert forms module. No ID. Let's sort it here. There's create an account, and then you would then be able to display the module inside the article. Now, why would you do that? Well, you would do that because whatever control you put on the module, so for instance, even if I just unpublish it and refresh, it disappears. So however you're controlling or managing the appearance of your modules, you can have that occur at the same time everywhere on your site. So let's say you use Advanced Module Manager, or you use Smile Pack, and you say, I only want this to occur between noon and 6 p.m. the user's time, however you would set that, or the site time. You apply that to your module, and then that automatically turns on or off the module all over your site. The module where it's embedded as well. Don't forget about caching, though. Okay. So, final thoughts. The right registration form does more than just collect user information. Yeah. Now, also, as we see here, as we just look at his forms, and then we'll get on to the anti-bot stuff, we can go to forms. We'll click on this. And then if we go to tasks, these are in the pro version. These are, we saw this, create tasks. These are all tasks that you can do and have your form run at the same time. Active campaign, add to ACY mailing. I don't have it installed in there, so you need it. These other tools, HubSpot, iContact, MailChimp, PHP. I wonder what that might run PHP code, webhooks, Salesforce, Drip. So there's a lot of tasks that you can put here. You can have an email task. Now, this is what we saw changed a couple of weeks ago. All of these new contact forms, all of these create account forms have not been generating emails saying, yes, we got your email. Valerie's thinking of getting it and now needs to decide if she goes for the bundled subscription. Yeah, there's a lot of nice stuff that Tassos has. And I have the bundle, and I include it in the monthly management package that I have with people, with my clients whose sites I'm maintaining or helping. If we go to email here, here's the trigger. New submission. Yes. Send an email to, send an email. Continue. Who are you going to send it to? And what is the subject going to be? You can type that. You've got the submission ID number. And I think that we saw earlier last week that we could not do different things here. We could, as in the old one, and I made a video for him and sent that to him. So just keep in mind here that this is not like what he's replaced. So we could, in this case, put submission ID. Put any of these things down here. We'll just stick with submission ID. Where it goes, the site email. From, always keep the from email as your site email. It's got to be something from your domain. Don't put from the email from the person who's submitting it, because the from address that they enter in will not match the email records of your domain, and the email will not go. All of your normal email stuff, and you've got some fields down here. And you can also run conditional logic. And I think that's just one thing there. And I don't think that we gave this, we give this, so this would be email submitter. Okay. Person who submits, save. And then if you wanted to email someone who is in charge of another department, don't forget we need to enable that. So we could go create a task, email, and then send an email. You would put in who to send it to. And then down here, we have this option of conditional logic. Send this email when the select group is equal to bronze. So if you have someone who's in charge of the people out in the bronze group, if someone signs up and selects bronze, you can have an email go to them specifically. And in these, it looks like, let's see here. It says all fields. Again, I'm not sure that that is working exactly the same as it was in what's been taken out. So work with this with what you can, and you'll see other options later on. Bjorn says RS Forms has the same thing, but it can replace the default registration form. Oh, okay. And that's okay. So that's a good point. How do we replace the default registration form using this? And that's what we're going to start playing around with here. I'm going to save this, but I'm not going to publish it. And I won't email that either. So, first of all, let's experiment. If using the core Joomla core Joomla system or component, here's the URL. Now we're going to go into here, and as you will see, no, first thing that we talked about was this. If we hide this module, this login module, does that link still work? Yes, and so it's called login form. We'll do it here. System, site modules, login. Go here. And we're just going to unpublish that. All right. So here's your user registration link that we got to. We refresh, it still works. So also, if you had a link to, oh, here's the login link, right? We still have, do you have an account down here? So as long as user registration is enabled in your Joomla site, for the core component, this is going to be available should bots see it. Now, as Bjorn pointed out, if you hide the menu link for this, if you take the modules off, it's harder for it to be spidered and to be found because it just doesn't show up anywhere. But also at the same time, login is pretty common and bots would know what to try to use to do Joomla. So let's do this. We're going to go close. We'll go to users and manage, and we're going to say options, and we're going to allow user registration no. So now we can turn that off. Now when we refresh this link, we should get a big fat 40. Oh, yeah, we don't get it. It just redirects to here. You can't register an account. But does our sign up form still work now that we've turned that off? Why don't we do that? That we just did. Let's join the gold group this time. gold@cybersalt.com. Really fast. gold@cybersalt.com. And we've got Tim. We're going to agree, and we're going to go submit. Oh, see, user account registration is disabled. Aha. So, for the purpose of defeating the bots, we need to do something here. I'm going to mention this to him after. That would be great, because I like that feature that Bjorn said the RS form has the same thing. So this will not work if user registration is disabled. So here we're going to get fancy. Let's turn it back on and go save. Okay, so now down at the bottom here, we're going to go to manager. We're going to go to, oh, I turned off that module. Okay, we've enabled that. Content, site modules, login, we put that on. All right, we refresh. And now we've got this. Create an account. We have this URL up here, what it is. And we also have this in a new tab, open. And that's this. So we want to force all registration. And I wanted to make this point too, because I have a client who is using Kunina for registration. And I was going to encourage him to use this method with convert forms for the only signed account creation method on his site. But if the link for Kunina is still there, someone could do it. And Bjorn just stole my thunder. Redirect it. Yes, Bjorn. That's why I can't have nice things, because everybody's faster than me. But yeah, you're right, Bjorn. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to create a redirect for this URL. And you could do it in an htaccess. Let me show you how to do it in htaccess. Then I'm going to suggest pretending using the Joomla redirect thing possibly. Watch. You'll see what I mean. Let's go to Gemini. And we're going, what am I using? I burned up all my stuff the other day using code. 2.5 Pro, math and code, fast all around. We'll just use this here. All right, so I'm going to say I need an htaccess redirect rule that sends all traffic to, and this is this here, all traffic to the registration one here. All right, that's the Joomla core link to our convert forms one. And there we go. So I go like this. And there it is, redirect 301. That says it's permanent. Anything for this to that account creation. Now, if we do this and I ever change the URL, which, if I ever set things so SEF URLs didn't use index.php, then I could, I said, don't count that one. Then I would have to go in and edit this if I ever change that. So just keep that in mind. Now, I have another window open here. Let me just go back to here because I don't want to show things that I ought not to be showing. Okay. I'm just going to cPanel. All right. Okay, and then we'll go to camera. Okay, here's the cPanel for that web hosting account. I'm going to go into File Manager. I'm going to go into the folder where it is, so that's J53 Basic Joomla. To the htaccess, I'm going to go Edit. Oh, and I'm going to paste that rewrite rule, but I need something that says rewrite on there as well. Well, too many ums. I need the rewrite on code as well. So I know I need to watch that. So rewrite engine on, that's what it is. That's all we need. I'm going to put that right here. All right. So this is our redirect for the Joomla component URL for user registration to here. Right. Now, this is the Joomla component one. Watch what happens when I refresh. It goes. So even if bots knew what your old URL was, it would redirect to this form. Now, if you've had some other URLs, like non-SCF URLs, they should get redirected. But once you have this redirect in place, it will go. And that is why, let me just tell you, I'll promote this guy's site. It is a very active site, KZ Rider. He's a nice guy too. I've talked to him on the phone. And he's here in the West Coast. If we go to the forum and go to create an account, his says register account. Oh, and actually Kunina is actually using the core Joomla method. So this would work just great for him. So Bill, when you get to the point you see this, the rewrite URL you want to rewrite is this one here for your site. Yeah, so that's a good workaround. Now, let's have some fun and check out Bill's site, kzrider.com, if you like Kawasaki bikes. I'm pretty sure they're Kawasaki bikes. Yes, they are. All right, so now that redirect, let me just show you something fun, and then we're going to look at the other adding a field for reCAPTCHA and honeypot, and a new thing in convert forms that's recent, the timer that will really let you take advantage of killing bots. I want to go into HT access here, and I could take this out, or if you ever want to not use something for a while, just do a hash at the beginning of each line and it will be ignored. Now we can go back to the create an account URL here. Oh, the redirect is still there. Okay. Okay, I need that. That's just memorized. That's just memorized inside of Joomla. And so let me just go down here, right click and copy link address. Now you can see this. I'm going to open a new window in Tor. So it forgets about history. It shows there's no cookies. So that URL should still work. Yeah, so it's not, that redirect is not stored in this browser. In Joomla, what I'm trying is not going to work. I thought I could trick the redirect extension in Joomla. System redirects. It's not enabled. If I enable this, okay. Oh, that's an interesting. I've seen that problem before too. If you ever run into this problem and it's cycling like that, you can't turn this on. Just go System, Manage Extensions, Redirect. I think I used to know why it did this, but anyway, we turn that on. Just publish it there. Now we can go to redirects and it's on. You can add new links for redirects, but I don't think. Oh, can we do this here? Expired URL, new URL. Let's try this. Used to be you could only make one if it was broken. I don't think this is going to work. So prepare yourself emotionally. I am always. Expired URL. The URL has to be redirected, and it's this. I think this only works if there's actually a 404 error. You can't do redirects this way. Watch. That you think that you've created a redirect, but this never gets checked unless there's a 404. Watch. We go back here, we hit refresh. It'd be really nice if it worked that way. But of course it would slow things down. So S, I was right. This will not work. So we have to do an HT access rule. If you're using an extension that is managing your SCF URLs, for instance, for SCF, you could do a redirect this way. I like the HT access, pretty clear, but you can do it in others. So, lesson learned about this. Let's trash that. Okay, so now we can go to components and let's look at some of the anti-bot stuff that's in convert forms because I really like that stuff. Bjorn says use the link in the menu, non-SCF. That's a good point. I just that was covered up, so I didn't see that comment for a few minutes. By window ad popped up here. If you go to menu, main menu, and create a menu link, as he said before, new. So that would be of the type user. And it would be login, password, registration form. Yeah. You go like this. Registration form. We would just save this. I'm not going to save it anywhere. Here's your non-SCF URL. And that's what you could use in your redirect as well. Now, I'm wondering, this would be interesting. If I put that there, okay, the non-SCF URL, and it needs a slash at the beginning, and go save, we go to this here in the Tor window. Oh, see, it did not pick up the SCF URL. Okay, interesting. Let's just see if it's the slash. Tor has no memory each time you refresh. So you would actually have to have both. And just to show you, let's go to System, Global Configuration, and let's go down to SCF URLs. Let's turn those off. Save. Now we go to the Tor here. We scroll down to the bottom, create an account. And does that redirect? No, because this is the URL. Now it does have index.com users view equals registration. Let's just see what we had here for our index.com users ampersand view equals registration. Oh, but we'll see in the URL, there's more afterwards. So I think there is a star character. What is the wild card to match any URL with that the beginning? Ing. I think it's close. He'll know what I mean here. Okay, and that is, a dollar sign. If we put a dollar sign at the end of the filter, so that's a wildcard, anything. So redirect any URLs that have view equals registration, whatever else is at the end, to that new, and now again, we have SCF URLs off, so that's going to break this. But we will refresh. No. Let's just see. Do the redirect for this. Do the redirect. Maybe we just have to use this specific one. And we're going to get our code updated here. Oh, they've got both in there. Okay, so they're putting the whole thing in. So, again, just look at just use the full URL. It's easier. If we put that there, save that, we go to the Tor, we refresh, and we get the 404 because this is a non-SCF URL we're redirecting to because we turned SCF URLs off. If we go back into here, if we go into here, search engine friendly URLs are on, save, go to the Tor. Oh, it actually put the options after as well. That's not what we wanted. The rule's not right there. That's because we did this. Let's just go back here. Oh my goodness. now it works because, yeah, that with that new rule. But just the same, since we're matched, we had that worked because I posted the full URL, but it had something there, and it still worked to redirect. All right, that's a little bit muddled in my mind there, but basically, find out what your non-SCF URL is, make a redirect exactly for it. Find out what your SCF URL is for the core Joomla registration. Make a redirect for it. And Ivers posted something there to try rewrite condition. Let's try this. Copy. I think that can. Oh, he's got the condition here. Let's look at that. Query options. Oh yeah, because sometimes the options in there. Yeah. So in this, yes. Run the So this is a condition. Work with it. Work with your AI in your particular case to get those links going, and you can have conditions like this one says if it matches this, run this. Yeah, I don't want to get too bogged down on that because I also want to get to the turnstile and the other features. So let's get to that. Close. If we go to components, convert forms, we have some things that work in this here. First of all, under the gear and security and restrictions, and I'm going to do a shorter video for my channel this, there's now honeypot 1 or honeypot 2. What is a honeypot? Basically, honeypot, you can read it right there. No, yeah, you can right there. Honeypot field is a field that's invisible to humans. So if it ever gets filled out, we know a bot has been on the page because bots love to fill up forms. And if it sees that there's something in there, it just discards it. Months ago, there was a particular kind of bot that was getting passed on honeypot version 1. I maintain, because people are saying, oh, it's not working. Honeypot does not work if the bot puts nothing in that field. All right. So if I had a basket in front of my house and anytime someone wanted to ring my doorbell, they had to put a ball in the basket. But if there was a sign that said, if you're a human, don't put a ball in the basket, and they could ring the bell. Okay, great. But then bots would come along and they would say, oh, this basket, I'm going to put a ball in it, because that's what bots do. They fill out that field. Well, whenever there's a ball in that basket, the doorbell does not work. But if the bot does not put a ball in the basket, the doorbell is going to work. Anyways, so I think there is some confusion about that they're saying, oh, honeypot's not working. Honeypot does not work if the bot does not put something in the field. And I think there was a smarter bot that was just looking very carefully at what to fill in and not filling in anything else. Anyways, there's 2 versions of honeypot. And as we can see here, honeypot uses a fixed hidden field to catch spam bots. While effective, some advanced bots may recognize and pass it. So honeypot version 2, the dynamically generated field with a unique name for each session, making it harder for bots to detect. It also works seamlessly with caching mechanism, ensuring reliable spam protection. So that's great, honeypot 2. But also look at this, enable minimum time to submit. So as it's setting here right now with it on, if this form on my site gets filled in under 2 seconds, it gets ignored. Basically on the principle of nobody can type that fast. And so if you have a form where you're asking people for feedback to put in their email address and things, you can put 10 seconds. Now watch this. In fact, 10 seconds. Okay, we'll go save. All right, email address. 10 secs. I'm typing too slow already. 10 seconds sliders.com. Let's just copy that. I need more time. 20 seconds. Save. Okay, so we go refresh. Control V. Tim, I'm under 20 seconds. Watch, I hit submit. Please wait a few more seconds before submitting the form. So I'm actually going to have to wait 20 seconds. I don't know if we can change this message here. I've not looked at that. But we just wait. We wait a little while. Wait a little while more. Submit it. Oh, I guess I think the time just started over. That's why I picked something too long. 20 seconds to submit. The minimum time. This will, because bots aren't interested in hanging around. Although I suppose, if a bot is running or is visiting a site, it wants to do things fast. It doesn't want to wait. Let's go back and see here. Is that more than 20 seconds? And yes, it is. And it's in there. So honestly, if you want to stop bots, this is great. I think this almost works on its own without needing reCAPTCHA. But for reCAPTCHA, you go to add fields. Down here, you've got reCAPTCHA. You've got a math CAPTCHA. You have a range slider. And I think range sliders. My favorite, of course, is turnstile. I found out too on a comment in a video. Apparently, there's a way to use turnstile without doing your DNS through Cloudflare. Someone sent me a message about how to do it, so I need to test it and try it out. But do add a reCAPTCHA field or some kind of turnstile. And again, turnstile verifies that you're human. Here's a little link up here to configure turnstile. It brings you to a pop-up where you put in your site key and secret key. And Bjorn says it is separate, so I did not know that. I'll have to do a video on that. My Maintenance Monday video this week was the first Maintenance Monday I'd done since April 1st, just between traveling and other things. So I'm happy to. I stayed up late just to get the monkey off my back and get another one out. So turnstile, but why don't we? I'm curious about this. Let's just try this. Let's do the range slider. I wonder what that is. Wonder what that is. What does the range slider do? Turnstile, let's take that out. Let's put the range slider above that. I might be wrong. It might not be doing anything. It's possible. I mean, you could, if you're setting a value, range slider, max value, default value. You could set a value on this and tell people, hey, move the range slider to the number 66. And then if the value is 66, you could then go to the behavior or to put a conditional thing in. Bjorn says if you need to set it up, hello, all from this wonderful world of Joomla. I think he pasted the wrong thing there. Anyways, you could get fancy. You could get fancy and put in a value. The value has to equal something. And then later on, you could put a condition on the form being submitted, the form will not be submitted unless the range slider value is equal to what you want. But really, turnstile is better. There's also an old school one in here as well. If we go add field, math captcha, and then I'll just go all fields and take out the range slider. Okay, and go save, and we refresh. And so then you just actually have to do math. But a bot could kind of do that too. You need to get a key from Cloudflare. Yes, you do need a key. I didn't think you could get a key unless the domain was in there. But I'm going to investigate this and you'll see a video come out. So everybody, that's a pretty good look at how to do that. And I'm happy to have that as a resource for people to see, to do on their sites, especially my clients that are wanting to do something. And that's just going to, it's just so great. It's so great. I am going to mention to Tassel, so let's mention that right now. Replace vault Joomla registration link. But otherwise, pretty good instructions there. The domain has to be added, but no need for DNS. Okay. Yeah, I think because I saw domains where I could pick and drop down, but I did not realize that. So, excellent. Okay, let's go back to here and let's have a little talk. Thanks for everybody your help on that. We heard news this week that Rocket Theme is closing. Not to beat a dead horse. It's not dead yet anyways, at the end of June. But Rocket Theme, and this is their farewell post here. So Rocket Theme. So let's let's just talk a little bit about it if you have thoughts or ideas or how you're going to react to it. And I will start out by saying that I am disappointed for a lot of people with sites that are using Rocket Theme templates that still have not migrated. All of the Rocket Theme templates still work in Joomla 5. So migration from 3 to 4 and then updating to 5 is not affected. So that's good. But I have fond memories of Rocket Theme. I used them for years. I think I had the developer's license or the 1-year license or whatever. I used a lot of stuff. It really, really did help me do a lot of things on sites that I didn't know how to do. And so it was great. And I really like the gantry system. One of the things, the layout of the templates, one of the things I did not like was that you could not, if there's a whole row like showcase A, B, C, D, E, you couldn't remove that. It was always there in your face if you were never using that, which is why I loved Asteroid, because I was able to move over and just have only what I could see. And then, of course, Asteroid, we remember that that was closed down. It's still running as a community, but I went with Template Creator CK. But Rocket Theme was really good. The templates were really, really nice. Some of their default, I always thought their default fonts were a little too gray and light. But anyways, that was good. So I think they were really good. And they sure had a lot of support forums and a lot going on. Now, then they came out with some things that I didn't bother trying. Like they had templates for Grav, which I still don't fully understand what it is. And then they started coming up with templates for WordPress. Gotcha. If you can get 1%, if you can eat 1% of an elephant, that's a pretty big meal, right? And their gantry system. Now, Ivor just asked, is gantry still going? No. Although I will say this, what he says in the farewell post is that he is open to handing it over to other people. and just saw the sales there. Promo code 50% off if you want to buy all of your, if you want to download all of those templates and have them in case you need them, then you can get them at a 50% discount. But no, Gantry, he says down here that Gantry is going, or he said that in a Gantry framework, yeah. But he's closing. That's closing down too. So here's the thing. I like it, but as in the and maybe some of you watched my Maintenance Monday video heard me kind of hinting at this. The when Joomdev and my friend Chayton said that they were going to stop developing Asteroid, I really thought about keeping that going as a business. But for the cost of running it, supporting it, and also programming for updates and all that, it was beyond me. Not only just financially, but time-wise and brain-wise. So I thought, no, I don't. And at that point, I was probably 57. I just thought, at this point in life, I don't have time to make a major mistake like that. A major business mistake and put all my time into it. I need to keep getting ready for retirement and keep building up what I'm doing and what's going well. I think similarly, there'll be, yes, you only see me here. Yeah, sorry. Here we go. Yeah, rocket theme. So here is this here. And rocket theme, of course, is here. So I think what's the case is going to be, as a business, I don't see a future for it, just because it takes so much effort. You got to pay support. There's got to be development. There's got to be programming. You've got all these templates. When Joomla 6 comes along, what's going to be needed to convert those? There's a lot. And so Andy Miller just realized and decided that was all that he was going to put money and time into, that it would just become too much. I think I got to think that part of what killed Rocket Theme is UTheme, because a lot of people have gone to UTheme, and it is a unique platform and method of building websites, just as Gantry was. So, but a lot of people have moved to that. Buyer beware, because the same thing could happen with UTheme. Now, some people are thinking, oh, they're too big to fail. Are they? Is anything too big to fail? Is Joomla too big to fail? That's not even getting into that topic. Like I said, haters are going to hate. Joomla is great. It's going to be around, and it's got its place. It's got its niche. I think it's here for a long time. So UTheme, will UTheme down the road say, hey, we're not going to do this for Joomla anymore? It's been great. They are not. I think UTheme is not as so connected as it's a framework. It's not so connected to Joomla, so it's possible that. Bjorn says core is best. Yeah, and core is best. But again, there's a lot of people that want to just build a site for their organization or for their family reunion or for their business, their small business. And so not everybody is going to learn all of the core stuff that is going to. Says on Reddit and posts on GitHub, and Andy rather just sure that is looking for a volunteer owner. The news was definitely bad for her because used Gantry 5 templates. What about CK? Is that a one-man operation? I don't know if CK is a one-man operation. I think Cedric has people helping him. I could be wrong. But again, that's the Ivor says maybe we can just tell AI to set up a site soon. Yeah, someone's posted a long time ago that AI about a service that AI that builds websites, and I posted said, I fix AI websites. Yeah, they could very well do it. Yeah, things are changing. Chayton's comment when I commented to him said, "Hey, did you hear that Rocket Theme closed?" He said this. Let me just. I thought it was really good what he said. He said, "The virtual world we make our living from is changing too fast to keep up with." I think that's true of everyone. It's changing too fast to keep up with. And so that's the challenge, and that's the challenge that Joomla faces, because if things are changing too fast to keep up with, and Joomla keeps keeping up, there's all that pressure. How should we keep up? What should we do? What should we not do? And add into that the emotional reasons that people want to do things a certain way or not. All that stuff. It's challenging. We're all facing challenges because of how the virtual world is changing, and that's just the reality. So, anyways, could you theme ever pack it in like Rocket Theme is? Who knows? Maybe you theme could get bought by someone bigger, and they immediately thought, you know what, we want to make the money, so let's only focus on this working for WordPress, because the Joomla stuff is only, let's say it's only 10%. Someone might just want to gut that company, and then you're back in the same spot, right? It's instead of us, I think realistically, instead of thinking like, how can we make it so that we never suffer because a product is ended, we probably just need to, be wise in what we're using and look at its longevity and things like that. But we probably should just accept that it's one of the hazards of the work that we do. So if you work with dynamite, one of the hazards is it can get blown up. Sometimes something happens. You work, you buy, we buy cars. If I buy a new car today, am I going to be mad in 20 years that there's new technology that's come along, and my car is no longer supported today? I mean, some people do. Now, the nice thing about cars, not a nice thing, is they wear out, and eventually in 20 years it's like, oh, that's so worn out, I need a new one. But our sites, perceived, if they keep showing up, they're not wearing out as perceived by a lot of people. But for those of us that are more aware of what's happening inside of Joomla, and inside the software, and if we log into a site that's Gantry 4, and we look at the Gantry 4 framework in an old Joomla 3 site, you can look and say, oh, this is worn out, right? Now, if the person that just has that site and they've been using it the same forever, find out they can't use that anymore, and they think, well, why not? My car worked 20 years ago. My car worked 15 years ago. Why not? Well, because the car company has only so many resources, and to maintain things. Plus, they're doing new things, and there's competition. They got to keep up. So, just a second, I got chat covered up here. Yeah. So, I don't. So, as a business, I can't see Rocket Theme continuing. Especially this, like, who's going to buy? Who's going to continue to buy right now, wondering if maybe things are going to work? As a volunteer, if there's a really big, huge volunteer who's just going to keep it going, can't do it. There's no way he can do it by himself. No way you could do it and answer the support. The forums, support forums are crazy. Look at this. Announcements, 471 topics. Water cooler member. Gantry framework, 5,800 topics, 26,000 replies. This is just the Joomla stuff, free Joomla stuff. Members only contributions. Grav. Look at that. They've got support forums for every single template. And it is crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy. All right, that's a lot. So who's going to, that's going to take a lot of people. Now, there may be people who are passionate about Gantry, who know it, who want to keep it going, and they may get involved. And I think that's probably what happened with Asteroid. And I think Asteroid's doing well. They keep putting stuff out, and it seems to be a good project that's following along. These frameworks, or anything that you're volunteering in, they could go away, and as long as we understand that, that's okay. Um, Valerie says the latest news has her wondering if she could ever stick to Joomla core template and build up the skills to jazz it up. I'm very apprehensive about being at the mercy of this dot 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 again. Yeah, you can. When I say that Rocket Theme helped me build sites beyond my ability at the time, that's true. And they would still help me build sites beyond my ability. I personally, I'm growing in my ability, but I'll tell you, I've spent hours this week getting rid of phishing files and hacks off of websites and accounts that for a company that moved to me for their hosting because the previous server got hacked and the other company didn't want to help them. So I'm learning new things, but I'm not learning new core things at the pace that I think that my team probably is, or that other people would want to in order to do it. So yes, Valerie, I think you could do it. The question is, does that for anybody is do they have the time to pick up those skills? So, for instance, let's say someone has, I always use the bakery example. Someone has a bakery. They build a Joomla site. They built it with Rocket Theme. And now they find out that Rocket Theme templates are going away. And let's say in a couple of years, Joomla 6 comes out. They don't work with them anymore. They want to do the update. They want to stay secure. Does the person with the bakery say, you know what, this would not happen to me if I became an expert at using Joomla and only the core method? If they're passionate about learning that and doing it from scratch, great. But if they're not, they're either going to switch to another platform, or they're going to hopefully find a video about Gantry being closed and see me say to them, hey, we can recreate the look of your template and your site will be faster. And hopefully they will, maybe they want to learn Template Creator CK, or maybe they'll hire my company to switch it over. So yeah, that's one kind of person who doesn't need to learn the core. Another person is who's building websites for other clients or organizations. Is like, oh, okay, well, I want to learn this. I want to be able to do these things in core. Then, of course, you should learn the core. Why not? So could I stop all my work that I do and force myself to learn core? Yes. Am I happy having a paycheck every month? Yes. So right now I can't stop everything. And I'm trying to build up my business in other ways too. So there's a lot of things I'm not doing on sites I'm trying to pass on to the team. So yeah, so you really have to ask yourself, is that something that you have the time and brain bandwidth for? I would think it's probably something that you want to transition. I think I told you a story of my friend who years ago, when I retired and told him retired from pastoring and that I was going to make a living from my site, try to do that. He said to me, he was a pastor, but he says, oh, maybe I should retire and build a website. And I said to him, no, you need to build a website and then retire. So the business that I stepped into when I retired was already there. And so I think as far as learning core things, doing everything by core in the site, learn how to do it before you abandon these other things. Like I said, Rocket Theme, it's not until 2027 that it's security. This is not Rocket Theme. Joomla 5, it's not till 2027, October 2027, that security for it stops. So that's like 2 years still, more than 2 years. So this is a tempest in a future teapot, Rocket Theme. It's all good. So I would even say that I guess if you're building a site for a client that's paying, you can't really build it in Rocket Theme now. And then later on say to them 2 years, oh, by the way, when I built that company was closing or had closed, but it was still a good system, but now you need something else. You should that. If you're doing something for volunteer, for organization, or someone just needs some help or something, then by all means, yeah, whip together a quick site if Rocket Theme is what you know. Uh, so yeah, it's not like Rocket Theme stopped working today or it's going to stop working in June. And then there's people that, if you're good at, I would say this, if you're good at finding high paying clients or a high paying client, then you could build their site entirely in core just by torching yourself and learning in the coming weeks and months how to do things and getting help from others. So you could do that. I will say this. So yes, I agree. The core is best. If you can do something in core, do it in core. But there's also a core cult. So I am not saying that everyone who says core is best is part of a cult, but there is a core cult within Joomla. And you see it when someone, maybe in a forum, I've mentioned this before, says, I want to build a template for a bakery. What's a good template that I could buy? And someone says, just do it in core. That's not helpful. But I think that there are people who, in saying just do it in core, they're not trying to be helpful. Well, maybe they're trying to be helpful, but there's also a heavy presence of them flexing. Like they're saying, "Oh, just do that; it's easy," and it's a way of, they feel good because they've proclaimed that someone should do something that they know how to do. And I think that that's unkind and unhelpful to a lot of people. If someone's really frustrated by using extension to do one thing, like membership extension, and then another extension to do something else, and these different extensions weren't talking to each other because they're from different developers, and there was a way that you could do it in core, I think that would be very helpful information. Say, you know what, when you have extensions like that aren't talking together, it's better to find something that does work, and you know what you're trying to do can be done in the core, but it takes a bit of learning and it would take some time. Then you're pointing them in a direction. And also, if you know how to do it, you also can offer your services to them and say, there's a learning curve to that. As I tell people at Template Creator CK, I say, yeah, there's a learning curve to that. But if you want, we can, if you want to hire us, we can do that with the site for you. We can make the site look like that or duplicate it. So that's good. But I just say that because I just want to make sure that nobody out there feels bad because they can't do things in the core. I don't feel bad because I can't do things in the core. Sometimes there's things I wish I could do. Sometimes I wish I was more or less of a brushstroke person and was like those fiddly details and just sitting and grinding. I think of how, some of the things I could do, but I am who I am. And if you don't know how to do things in the core and you're not in a place where you can really just stop everything or quit your job and just spend all your time trying to learn that and then find clients for it, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. All of these things exist. Even, look at what we did today with convert forms. That could all be done by customizing the core of Joomla. Custom program. That's not using the core, of course, because would be doing something custom. But there's someone out there that would watch this whole video and say, "Oh, I could do that. You just have to program these things. That's easy." You know who that is? Tassos. Not that he would say that way, because he's a great guy and a sensitive guy. But he's got the programming skills to do it. So what has he done? He's made it so that others can do the same thing without having to learn to be a programmer like him. And that's the beauty of extensions and templates and the community in Joomla. When you find the right places, you can get help just to do things that are beyond your ability. So, yeah. So I don't think Rocket Theme is going to continue as a business. If it gets picked up as a community, then like Asteroid was, then I think people that like to use it will continue to use it, and it will move on. And when Joomla 6 comes along, if there's a community that's taken over Rocket Theme and they convert all of their templates to work, that's great. And look, I would say I'm pretty sure that because the Rocket Theme is selling memberships, that this is all open source. Someone that knows how to convert these so that they work in Joomla 6, they could just do it. You could just fork it, and that could be your business. You could hang out your shingle and just say, hey, if you're using Clarity Rocket Theme template for Joomla, and you want it to work on Joomla 6, I have it here. Download a membership and buy a membership, and you can download it. But as soon as you're taking money to people for membership, you have to support them, right? Otherwise, people say, oh, yeah, that's great. Tim, I bought a template and I downloaded it from Tim and it worked. But then version 6.1 came out and it doesn't work and I can't get a hold of Tim. Does anyone know where Tim is? Yeah, so that's the challenge of it. In an active community, you could ask for help. Ivor says he used Claude to search in an Excel workbook for all content in 37 sheets and cells. Claude AI did it in 2 minutes and gave you an HTML file and show it as a Joomla module. Excellent. Yes, Claude.ai. I've not seen that one before. Claude.ai. Your idea is amplified. Identify code optimizations. And hey, Michael, good to see you. You just got the last half hour. Cassiopeia can be fun to work with. Don't forget that any CSS code you use can be saved to your own library to be used again and again. Yes, exactly. Let me just get this link here. This is the link that Ivor shared. Search results. Search across all sheets in your Excel workbook. Desk.no. So, what is this link here, Ivor? Is that something that shows you must upload the file somewhere, right? Maybe the whole link didn't go through. Let's just see here. No. Okay. Oh, is this a site that you've got it working on as a module? Okay. I think that's really cool, though, taking things. What did I do the other day? Those accounts that I was running, my server was finding phishing files on through the security scan. When it pasted, that's good. When it pasted, Susan just looked at me and wondered when we're having lunch or if I'm ready for lunch. So, and I think I am. But anyways, I would select all of the report for each account, the account name, the files that were hacked, and I had set up a prompt, or I told a prompt saying, told them what to do. I'm doing this scan. I'm getting these results. I'm going to keep pasting them over and over again. I want you to create an email that sends to the person outlining what's being done. And I used AI to do it. It was great. It would take me hours to do it by hand. But the formatting was great. It did it as a table. Ira says, yes, the Excel workbook must be uploaded. Okay. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with Rocket Theme. But if you have a system that you can rely on for recreating the look of pages, Rocket Theme pages, I would say go out and search for, let's see, you want me to search here. LYS. Go out, find clients that have Rocket Theme templates, and it's a business opportunity. I see here. So you already had that uploaded, and then this is working as a module. Excellent. Yeah, the ability to say, take this information, make it searchable, and give me and to add to my database and make it searchable in a module in Joomla, that's great. There's lots of things coming like that. All right, so as you know, as I just mentioned, my wife wants to eat lunch and I want to eat lunch with her. So everybody, thank you for your support of the channel. Thanks for helping me out today. Create this content that will help others. And yes, sirree. That's it. All that's left over except for the fun closing music. So, as usual, I hope that wherever this finds you, be it morning, evening, afternoon, or tomorrow, that you are well. Until the next time, enjoy your Joomla sites, and God bless.